I was very, very lucky that I got an altruistic donor who volunteered to give up her kidney to a total stranger. It's meant I could get my life back and move on with things and get on with life. And I was much, much more physically capable to do all the everyday life things.
I first started thinking about donating my kidney, it's probably 25 years ago when I started thinking about it, when my sister-in-law, I found out that one of her sisters had been given a kidney by one of their brothers because she had kidney failure, and without that she would have passed away. And I thought, wow, that's a great thing, that you could, that we can save somebody's life by, giving them a part of ourselves. Oh, that's just good. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking I could do something like that because I've always been quite fit and healthy, and thought, oh, I reckon I could do that. Or I could see the journey of Pam and her brother. And she was super excited because, it's going to save her brother's life. She's really excited. So I know she went to a lot of testing. I don't know exactly all the things that she'd gone through, but I was there when she did it. She was only away from DNI for a couple of weeks recovery, and then she was back, and again she was super excited. And to me, she didn't look like everybody that recovers from surgery is a little bit of getting over it, but it wasn't. At the time, you couldn't donate to somebody who wasn't known to you, like a family member. They call that directed donation. So what I was doing was a non-directed donation to somebody that I wouldn't know. And they said, well, you can't, that's at the moment, it's not a legal thing to do. You can do it here now, but back then it wasn't. So they put me in touch with a doctor in Sydney, and she said, well, I can help you with all of that. They set me up for all the tests that I had to do, physical tests, psychological tests, and that was about a 6-month process of going to different doctors and different psychologists and chatting to them. And eventually they gave me the tick to say, yep, you're a candidate. And then it was just a waiting game.
So when my renal specialist said my condition was that bad that I had to decide to get the process moving to go on to dialysis, ready for a transplant. So I had to do lots and lots of tests to get on the transplant list. And then they decided that my kidneys were so bad and enlarged so much that they had to go in for surgery to take both of my kidneys out first. So I had my kidneys removed, and they said that potentially it would be averagely a year of dialysis, but it ended up being about 2 years. And I chose to do peritoneal dialysis mainly, which is a tube in your stomach. You connect every night, stay attached to a machine for 9 hours a night. And then I had a fistula in my arm, which you had to do the hemodialysis with. And so it was very, very, very tiring. But I found overnight better for getting on with life during the day. Easier to go to work and stuff. I was told that to keep my phone on me 24/7 in case they rang to say that I was getting a donation. But my renal specialist rang me to tell me that they had a person that was willing to donate their own kidney because she had a medical condition that she would chose to either have her kidney removed and thrown away or put back in after she was fixed, or she could donate her kidney, and she chose to donate her kidney to a stranger. And it was very, very exciting and very, very happy. And it was amazing that someone else would do that for someone that they don't know, sort of thing. Excited that it was going to happen, and very happy that someone else would do something like that for someone else. And relieved that it may be over and I may be able to get on with my life. I was told that it was going to be about 2 weeks wait. So that was the longest 2 weeks of my life, waiting. And then I was told that they were unsure whether or not the kidney was viable in itself. So the lady that was donating to me had to wait for the person to go into the surgery first thing in the morning, and she had to have her kidney removed, and then it was then checked over and tested and seen if it was all right. So I had to go into hospital and wait overnight, wait for her surgery, and then if everything was successful, I was taken down for my surgery. And if it wasn't successful, I was sent home. But I was lucky.
So it was about 3 weeks all up that you'd say the major part of the recovery was. After that, you're still recovering from, you've been cut open. But I was back at the gym, just training lightly, and every day was just better and better till you just went, oh, did I really do that? I feel normal, had no side effects, and every year I get a checkup and everything's great. I didn't get to meet my recipient or know who my recipient was. It's a confidential thing. I did allow them to send me a card. So I do know that they're an adult, that they're a parent, because in the card, obviously they were thanking me. And they'd been 5 years on dialysis. So for 5 years, they couldn't lead a normal life. They couldn't play with the kids the way they wanted to play with the kids.
And so after we had our surgeries, we were allowed to write to each other if we wanted to. So I wrote to say thank you very, very much for being so kind to donate your kidney. And she wrote back to me saying that she was very, very happy to have donated to someone and glad it was working, was happy to hear that it was working wonderfully for me. And now we write to each other every anniversary of our transplant, and we write to each other and give presents at Christmas time to each other. And we just share all our life stories, where we're going, what we're doing, how healthy we are.
So it's 13 years since the operation, and I'm not saying it's because of the operation, but from a health point of view, from a fitness point of view, I feel I'm the fittest and healthiest I've ever been in my life. Since then, I've done things, like I've never run a marathon ever in my life. I've probably never, before the surgery, I'd probably never run more than 10 Ks, maybe 15 Ks I'd run. And, now I'll be 61 in 2 weeks. And I've done ultra marathons now. And so from a health point of view, donating my kidney hasn't had any impact on my life.
That it's a very, very thoughtful, kind process to think about and do. And you wouldn't understand how appreciative a recipient is to what you are willing to do. And we get our life back so much after your donation.
Then what I did is thinking about it, just start the process. I mean, just make inquiries, get the test done. It's worth exploring, because I can't think of a greater feeling than to know that you've given somebody their life back. That's what they call it. It's a gift of life. Just think about it. Make some inquiries and find out a little bit more about it. So starting that journey doesn't mean you have to go through with it, but you never know. It could be the greatest thing you've ever done in your life.